Void Woken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn. They made it to shore. I will yield to none. I thought these bloody collars were supposed to keep those things at bay. The face is familiar. What's left of it? He was aboard the ship. Any man who put his likeness in stone is a fool in my book.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his eyes, his chin, the crown of his head. He spots you, and his arms snap to his sides.
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. Why? But are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid, searching your face. He lifts his mirror to his nose, close.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong or crazy. No one cares where I go. They know I can't leave the island. It's nicer out here than inside anyway. They're gone now. The Magisters took them already. I guess now they're cured. And maybe they're waiting for me back at home. But you didn't die. I guess I am, but it's just normal to be scared. Nowhere isn't scary. There isn't anywhere safer. That's what I mean. You'll see.
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is of a bright, blood-red color. Could he be... Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist. You lock eyes with his, two smouldering embers that sizzle your very soul.
I did survive, yes. And chances are I wouldn't have, had you not returned to the aid of your fellow passengers down in that dreadful hold. You have my gratitude.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get carried away, shall we? Nevertheless, one good turn does deserve another, so as far as the whole slave business is concerned, let's just forget about it. Now then, if there's nothing further, I'm sure I don't mean to sound condescending, but I had thought it quite self-evident I was gazing out over the waves.
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? Memories. Quite so.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass as the waves lap against your thoughts.
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse before us, I see an empire. I see continents dotted with mighty cities, and shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. Lost? What do you mean, what do I mean? I mean just what I say. I had a very actual empire that I lost.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended, he stares at you with utter incredulity.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? Oh, may the Seven have mercy on their own creation. I am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror, the World Tamer, the spouse of the Sun. Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so slightly.
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunities at the moment. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have. Truly. A kind offer indeed. And you've already proven to be trustworthy enough. You came back for the others on that ship, after all. Fine, I accept. On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer, one of the mystics of my kind. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him, and I'll extend you the blessing of my company. Jolly good. So, now that that's settled, first things first. Even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, that our swords will be doing a lot of the talking from here on out goes without saying. As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic, and yes, even subterfuge. What say you? Finesse is a condition one should assume in any situation, from dining to discourse to dueling. What situations do you have in mind? Very well. Onwards then to victory or death.
The Red Prince nods and gives you a smile that wavers ever so delicately between courtesy and contempt.
Now, as you're aware, you'll be traveling with a prince. Proper forms of address include Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, or if you're feeling particularly frivolous, Milord. As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage, so you won't be required to carry my belongings. Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see to it you'll pick up the rest as we go. So, without further ado, let us be off.
A black cat. Maybe my luck is about to change.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it stares at you with its eyes clear, and it shakes its head, confused. The cat's eyes are clouded, its eyes
I wonder where this leads.
As the alcove opens up, you see the same skeleton that you met on the boat before it sank. He's still not wearing his mask. He's leaning over a corpse, prodding and pulling at the skin of its face.
Bugger. How on earth am I supposed to... Oh. Perhaps...
Skeletal fingers reach down and grip the skin of the dead man's face, pulling sharply upwards. After a few more tugs at the man's cheeks, the skeleton relents, letting the head drop to the ground with a damp thud.
Damnation. That stuck fast. I wonder, does the beard act as some form of anchor? Ah! No! Stay back! Don't... Oh, it's you. I must admit I'm surprised. Perhaps you're more buoyant than I suspected. It seems the human that stole my mask was rather more resourceful than I gave her credit for. I chased her here, but she rather seems to have given me the slip. Thus...
He turns back to the body, prodding at its face cautiously.
Why, its face, of course. What other use would I have for some rotting corpse? A face that seems rather stubbornly attached to his skull. I would normally employ a tool to delicately but viciously rip the face from the body. I could then craft a mask to hide my bone. But as I lack such a tool...
The skeleton grabs the corpse by the cheeks and pulls hard, grunting in frustration as the body's skin holds firm.
Because my own was stolen from me! And the idea of being chased across Rivellon by every idiot with a torch does not appeal! Oh, get away! Monster! Hide the children! Oh. You are simple beasts. And you simply do not like my... Well, not my kind, but those that look like me. So, if I am to traverse this land, I will need a mask to disguise my features. Simply put, I am an Eternal, and you are not. You have my sympathies. Indeed, no one seems to have the good taste to be. My people are rather absent. At least from this realm. As for the others, well, there is an excavation site at the Black Pit's oil fields. Perhaps there I'll find my answers. A cult? Hardly. We were a race that existed before the idea of race was needed. We were all one. I could ask you to imagine an Eternal as a creature of incredible intelligence and skill. But I fear the limits of your imagination would not do us justice. We studied the mysteries of the universe. We created works of great art. We disappeared. But I will find them. Wherever they are, I will find them. We will have our world again. Well, that hardly seems relevant. But if you must know, I was inconvenienced for a time. I was sealed in a tomb for daring to be curious about the world. It seems our king did not agree that the universe should be explored to its full potential. Perhaps I should thank him. It seems I was spared whatever happened to the others. I wonder if flowers would be appropriate. Ah, well, that is the curious thing. They are clearly absent from this world, and yet they are everywhere. Every one of your races resembles them in some manner, and the statues you have built to your gods look remarkably familiar. Perhaps my people have ascended to some new realm, or perhaps your gods are merely a folk memory. Regardless, they are not here, but I will find them. Wherever they are, I will find them. I suppose, circumstances being what they are, it could be advantageous. You seem more at ease in this world than I. A guide would certainly be useful. Excellent. While we are conversing, perhaps you notice that I am rather skilled in, well, all things. Of course, the arcane arts are my little speciality, but being a brilliant wizard does not mean I cannot handle blade or bow. So, which do you require for this enterprise of yours? I could do that with one hand behind my spine. Now, shall we get on? There is rather a lot to see. Splendid. Very well. Let's be off.
Quite right. Do seek my counsel. I highly recommend it. I intend to rule an empire one day, not a tiny outcropping in the sea, lording over gulls and guppy fish. To that end, I suggest we focus on the obvious. A farewell to Fort Joy and a hello to the mainland. Of course, I'd much appreciate it if we managed to find a dreamer first.
What's this? I found something. I need to dig here.
One must put in due effort if one is to reap the proper reward.
You hear a small whimpering sound from behind a basket. You peer behind it and find a small human child holding her knees and trembling. The child quiets and seems comforted by your presence. She looks up at you with curious eyes.
There are monsters here. Lizard ones and real ones. It's really scary. And I miss my ma and pa. Master was a lizard. She sent us here. Me, ma and pa. She was not a nice lady. Lizards aren't nice ladies. It's their fault I'll never see ma and pa again. Parents are the best. They take care of you and make sure nothing can hurt you. And when they leave, you're all alone.
Her eyes lock with yours for a moment. She places her head on her knees and sits quietly.
Go! Get out! You are not welcome here! Go, man-pig!
She eyes you suspiciously.
Please, please, just go.
To these turtles. They're transforming.
corner. Meet your maker. Prepare yourself. Well, take you. Swallowed too much seawater, by the looks of it.
Foolish to attempt an escape by sea in these waters.
This again.
It's a lot nicer here than that stinking boat, huh? I'm sure glad you went back to save the others. Saw one of them wringing out their tunic at the shore a few hours ago. Say hi for me. Ooh, that's a pretty one.
Boring.
I know nothing of any of that.
Alexander. But wait, he's too well protected here.
Need I repeat myself?
But I know nothing of any Verdus.
We already know the truth, Magister. Now speak.
I am a proud loyal to the Order. I would not dream of subverting our cause.
Atusa, please.
Your Godwoken has asked you a question. Answer him.
Need I repeat myself?
But I know nothing of any Verdus.
We already know the truth, Magister. Now speak.
I am a proud...
Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our Godwoken speaks.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapees.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use. Cut it out.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come!
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Bishop Alexander idly glances in your direction, curiosity on his face. Recognition seems to flicker in his eyes for a moment, but then he shakes his head and looks back towards Dallis. Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood form against the dagger's edge and quickly fall to the ground. She groans.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think you would lie to his only son, your bishop, and your friend these many years. The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it, then you will help the Void destroy it. Dallis?
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe we're done here.
What a waste. Come, we'll be needed elsewhere.
The Lizard Magister, or what's left of her, lies in a puddle of gore.
She was a lizard, yet a magister. No matter her reasons, her penalty was fair.
These creatures are so prone to violence. Naturally, the weaker specimens suffer.
saw 'em, didn't you? The Hammer and Alexander. They gave that scaly traitor what for, they did. Missed quite the scene. The bishop himself with his right hand laid down the law on a traitor among our own ranks. One of the last lizard magisters left. Burst into quite the bloody mess, she did. Bishop's a son of the dead divine. Don't know when we'll get a new one, but Alexander's looking after us in the meantime all the same. And the Hammer's a solid sort. Don't take no guff and don't stand for no idling. Earned that name for a reason, she did. When you give up the darkness that's inside you. Take your fault, it's there, mine. But it's there all the same. They're working on a cure for you even now. Got some good leads, so I hear. You can trust Dallas to take care of it. And once you're cured, your life will start again. During the time of Lucian, of course. Who wouldn't join up with God himself? He was all glory, all goodness. When we lost him, well, it only made sense to see his will through. Can't for certain, but I reckon when God himself gives his life to protect you, you don't waste the gift. You protect it with everything you've got. So that's what we do. Lucian gave his life to protect Rivellon. If we let the Voidwoken get to it now, well, we'd have lost him for nothing. Fort Joy ain't no summer camp. No one said it were, but it's the best we've got to protect the realm.
Where is he?
Did you see him? You did, right? Those claws. Wonder what's behind the masks, too. Can't be pretty.
Vara. She ain't come back. I told him at noon exactly, didn't I? Pipe down, Farah. It's time to accept reality. He hasn't changed a bit. Always late. Pipe down, Farah. It's time to accept reality.
The Geists, dummy. The Hammer and Alexander had two in tow just a moment ago.
He hasn't changed
Ugh.
a bit.
Thought you lot'd be interested in a thing like that. Horrors, eh? Easy to say when you haven't looked a Voidwoken in the eye. The Order and their horrors are all that's protecting you from that fate. You and everyone else in Rivellon. Now why don't you move along and settle in? A magister will come and find you when they're ready for you. Could be a while, though. We're up to our hoods in sinners these days.
I can't wait all day.
She's gone. Gone.
Did you see them, sir? Bishop Alexander and the Hammer herself. They were so close, almost within arm's reach. You don't know them? Oh, remarkable. Bishop Alexander is the son of the Divine, the leader of the Divine Order. And Dallas, the Hammer, is his right hand. They are all that stand between you, me, and the Void. And they were right here just a moment ago, attending to some business. Oh, I'll not forget this. I wonder if I could get a letter out of this place. Oh, my daughter would love to hear I'd seen the great bishop up close.
She's gone. Gone. Come on,
I find only bread. I want no trouble.
Bread or a brisket, goes the same.
Where are you?
Pipe down, Farah. It's time. A fella can't hear himself think with all this racket. Day and night she hollers after that child. You hear that, Farah? You got to cut that out. What's happened to ya? Aye, she needs help, but none that I can give. Mad as a cooker, that one, and twice as loud. Distraught don't even begin to cover it. She's hollering after that child of hers, killed by a void woken she was. Been dead and buried for a month now. Never even stepped foot in Fort Joy. And there ain't no amount of hollering that'll bring her back.
Please, please, you must help me. No one here will help me. Not one of these bastards. A child is missing. My baby. Oh, bless you, bless you. She's been missing for days now, and not a single soul will help me look for her.
The pair of you are filthy, cheating liars. Don't mean I can't beat ya.
A little respect for Griff's right hand, Topsy.
Where is he?
Right hand, my winker. Fella's got more right hands than an octopus.
That's it. I call court. Pay up.
Irma's her name. She's about as high as your hip. Black of hair, a quiet child. Not prone to wandering off. I'm sick with worry. Completely sick. And no one in this damn camp will lift a finger to help me find her. I last saw her just here, near 3 days ago. She was playing with her little doll, and I was washing out her tunic. I turned from her for one moment, and she was gone. Left her doll behind, too.
Come on,
So
old man.
unlike her.
I can't wait all day.
Topsy, you can fold.
No, no. Just because the pair of you are filthy, cheating liars don't mean I can't beat ya.
A little respect for Griff's right hand, Topsy.
This place turns people cold. Cold and wicked. That fellow Jeth over there speaks unutterable evil, but I can't move away from him. What if Irma comes back and I'm not here? Yes, of course. Here, you should take it with you. When you find her, give her the doll and tell her, Mummy says this is for her little chicken, and it's time to come home. That's what I call her, my little chicken.
She soaks up a steady stream of tears with her shirt sleeve.
She ought to come with you then. She ought to follow you back to me. You are an angel. Truly you are. Irma!
She's gone, Farah. Gone!
Come on, old man. I can't wait all day.
The child doesn't lift her head from her knees.
She's gone, Farah. Gone!
I told him at noon.
Where are you, darling?
Didn't I?
It's time to accept reality.
I'm not mad, darling. I'm not mad. Sweetheart?
Pipe down, Farah. It's time to accept reality.
I told him at noon exactly. Didn't I?
She's gone, Farah. Gone!
I don't think I ain't watching. That's your fifth blue just to this road.
Irma!
Pipe down, Farah. It's time to accept reality.
Grab it in your gobblers, the both of you.
Don't like the game, Topsy, you can fold.
No, just because the pair of you are filthy cheating liars don't mean I can't beat you.
Irma, Mummy's right
A little
here.
respect for Griff's
Where are
right
you?
hand, Topsy.
Farah.
He hasn't changed a bit.
She ain't
Always
coming back.
late.
Fella's got more right hands than an octopus.
That's it. I call court. Pay up.
Irma? Irma!
Pipe down, Farah. It's time to accept reality.
He hasn't changed a bit. Always late.
I'm not mad, darling. I'm not mad.
I don't think I
Sweetheart?
ain't watching. That's your fifth.
Pipe down, Farah. It's time to accept reality.
Grab it in your gobblers, the both of you.
Don't like the game, Topsy,
Irma?
you can fold.
I told him at noon exactly.
Pipe down,
Didn't I?
Farah. It's time to accept reality.
A little respect for Griff's right hand, Topsy.
Right hands, my fella's got more right hands than an octopus.
Irma, Mummy's right here.
That's it. I call court. Pay up.
The woman is scrabbling at her throat, as though she can hardly breathe. As she catches sight of you, recognition flashes in her terrified eyes. She drops her hands from her throat and starts hyperventilating.
Ben Mest, Ifan, Ben Mest, you killed them! You killed them! He killed them all! Murderer!
Don't think I ain't watching. That's your fifth blue just to this road.
Keep him away from me! Help! Somebody! Keep him away! Stay back. Stay back. Keep that monster Ben Mest away from me.
What if there are no source codes? Yet so quickly, we find source so dangerous. What in his death?
Ain't come to shake me down for my knickers, have you? You're all I got left after your buddies were through with me.
But why? When another divine arises, will source change back?
Oh, right kind of you, my friend. I've grown quite attached to him over the years. Well, almost literally in his...
The lizard's brow knits together, then apart, and back again. He seems to be swimming deep in his thoughts and doesn't look up as you approach.
The ground. I don't know what you... I'm just trying to work it out. What happened? Why? My mind? What else, my friend? I'm wondering why. All of this. Source, the Voidwoken, the Divine. No doubt the two are related. Perhaps if we can reverse the cause of our misfortunes, we can stop this madness before it goes any further.
The kin's brow knits together, then apart and back again. He seems to be swimming deep in his...
What? Oh, kin. New, are you? Very good, very good. Make yourself at home. Recognize you? Of course I recognize you. You're the Red Prince. That's about as obvious as a very obvious thing. Your point? What would you like me to say? I know you're the Red Prince. You know you're the Red Prince. Why should we discuss it? Advice? Hold on to yourself, kin. The fort is full of decent folk turned savage by confinement. Do not let...
50 bucks for tears,
You there. You've just arrived, isn't that right? Are you quite alone? It's just, I've a proposition. Something very worth knowing. But it's hardly a group affair. I only need one. Oh, noble. But after the Magisters take you all, your nobility will have been for good luck with your friend. Change your mind about my offer yet? Attaboy. Who wouldn't? Finally someone with a little sense around here. The plan's simple, completely foolproof. I have a spell that I can use to teleport you right out of here. I can't use it on myself, but there's an artifact that you can use to teleport me out of this place. Then I can use my spell to free you in turn. This item, though, it's in quite an unfortunate location. It's found its way into a nest of crocodilians on a secluded beach nearby. Here, give me a map and I'll show you where to go. Get that artifact, and you and I are as good as free. Go give those overgrown lizards what for. Come on, you stubborn hunk of garbage.
The dwarf's fingers clamp around a splintered chunk of wood nailed to the skeleton of an old ship. His whole body strains with the effort of wrenching the plank free, to no avail.
Ah. Eh? Oh, that. Won't be my first or last roll on a lost boat. Reckon I might have had a harder time of it without your help, though. Bravery on the high seas is rewarded tenfold in the hall, you know. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got business to it.
The dwarf spits into each of his calloused palms and rubs them together before placing them both back on the plank and pulling.
Bleeding nail must be
charmed or something. Go on then, give it a go.
You grab the plank and pull. The rusted nail pops loose, and the plank promptly crumbles to pieces in your hand.
Oh, look at that. Nice of you to finish the job after I...
He winks and flips a gold coin toward you. It makes a long, high arc, glinting in the sun, and lands squarely in your hand.
For your trouble. No, but I'd hoped to build something with it that would be worth 1,000. Yeah, it were a fool's errand thinking I could make something out of this heap, but I couldn't help myself from trying.
He sucks a finger and holds it up to the wind, testing the breeze.
Winds like these, she would have capsized before she reached the break. Well, on to plan B.
He gives you a wry look, as though deciding whether to trust you.
Aye, was planning to build me a raft and paddle off. I've got business north of here, in a town called Driftwood. Far be it from me to miss an appointment. Why don't we make a deal then? You help me get out of this place, and I'll do the same for you. That's the spirit.
He lifts an invisible cap and bows with the grace of a courtier.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. The name's... well, the name's dead and buried. What? Well, that's quite the story now. Let's save it for a better day. Say when we finally make it off this damn island. Suffice to say, I'd at least be Captain Beast in better times. I'm out of a ship at the moment, though. Anyhow, we're a team now, so the me is not half as important as the us. Let's get down to brass tacks. I've been up and down the realm so often it'd make your cabbage spin, and I picked up a few tricks along the way. Truth be told, I've grown fond of... May not look it, but I'm pretty light on my toes when I need to be. Did you have a specialty in mind? Then it's settled. Capital! Well, that's that sorted.
I'll yield to none. Glory is mine. Glory is mine.
Hurts, doesn't it?
The Reaper for me.
I find only bread. I want no trouble.
Bread or a brisket, toll's the same.
Your grift teaches you to bully others. Pathetic.
Where is he?
You keep his name out of your mouth, you filthy cut chewer.
Have you cud?
Disgusting, just like all your kind.
Disgusting like theft. Disgusting like threats.
God, brave God, will you quit dragging this on?